Let us not dawdle, for there are grudges to settle, and new entries in the Dammer's Cron to write.
Howdy, howdy, Sudovla here, and welcome to another online ladder battle between the Dowie and the Tomb Kings again. It's interesting, we just had a fight against the Tomb Kings, so we get to have another one. Upgraded my army a little bit, thought about it a little bit, and we have I think a tougher army this go around. So in my front line, I basically got two dwarf warriors out front. They're just a little bit extra out front to take shots. They have shields, you know, they're there to take a little bit of damage. Of course, I've got three Longbeards to back them up because Longbeards are just awesome. Now for my back line, I only have one Slayer, but it is a Dragonback Slayer, and I have brought two units of Longbeards with great weapons, one on each edge for that backline protection, and one unit of Miners. And for my mid, I've got Bugman's Rangers on my outside, two units of those, two units of regular Rangers, and just one unit of Uthar's Raiders. And for my leadership, I do have the Longbeards with great weapons are the protectors and guardians and bodyguards of my Rune Lord and my Rune Smith. My Rune Lord is just on foot, and he has the Master Rune of Wrath and Rune and the Master Rune of Grungni for missile resistance. And my Rune Smith has the Hammer of Karak Draws for minus 25% weapon damage and minus 44 melee attack for 50 seconds. The Rune of Wrath and Rune and the Master Rune of Groth One Eye for plus 8 leadership. Now for the Tomb King's army, very elite. He has Cetra the Imperishable on a chariot, which chariots are tough to deal with for dwarfs. He has the Blessed Blade of Petra, which does fire damage, blinded for 10 seconds, minus 26 melee attack, minus 40% accuracy, minus 27 melee defense, quite powerful. The Wrath of Petra, explosion around himself to get everyone away from him. The Incantation of Desecration, minus 26 melee attack, minus 27 melee defense, very powerful. For 40 meters, that's pretty huge. The Incantation of Vengeance causes damage to multiple combatants. The Incantation of Protection, 44% physical resistance, very cheap spell. The Incantation of Cursed Blades, 20% weapon damage, 20% armor piercing. The Crown of Nehekara, 55 meters constant around himself, 10% armor piercing, 10% weapon damage, and 8% charge bonus. He has the Restless Dead, resurrects dead combatants and greatly replenishes hit points, heals before resurrecting, and that's every time he casts a spell. And he has his Cursed, which damages a combatant, and he does cause fear. So for the rest of his army, he has three halberds, tomb guards with halberds. These are about 850. They're very sturdy. They're about the sturdiest front line that the Tomb Kings can bring. Very rugged, and these are the units that we did have a bit of a discussion about in the comments, and he did bring two Tomb Scorpions. These are the units that always worry me because they're anti-infantry, they cause terror, they're armor piercing, and he brought two Necrotechs to heal them up. And those Necrotechs have, what are their spells real quick? The Elixir of Might for 50% weapon damage plus 26 melee attack, and here's the Restores, which heals constructs. And they have Stone Shaper, plus 10% armor, plus 10% missile resistance. And they have a Wrath of the Creator, plus 5% armor piercing, and plus 5% melee attack if the unit is a construct. And in the back line, he has one unit of Spearmen just to protect his Ushabti with Great Bow and his Chosen of the Gods. Alright, so early on, we'll get this going. He's bringing Cetra out this way, so I'm just going to send my Miners after them all game and my Longbeards. I just want to send them right after Cetra, and I'm trying to get my army set so I can take these guys and send them around, take these guys and send them around, and I'm going to engage these guys just up the middle. And I'm going to send my Dragonback Slayers back because I don't want them hit, and I just want to get this engagement going, so I'm already going to be using the Master Rune of Wrath and Rune and the Rune of Wrath and Rune on this Tomb Guard to hurt them. He's charged into the line with Cetra. This is going to be something that he's going to do. Now, I've done differently. I've actually attacked all of my units on Cetra, and I've put the Mark by Uthar on him. So he's going to take a ton of damage, and I still have got these Miners going after him. So they're going to do a ton of damage to Cetra, and I'm just going to follow him up, and I've got the line engaged, and he's actually going to come in with these Necrotechs, both the Necrotechs after my Runesmith and my Rune Lord. I'm going to bring in my Longbeards with great weapons to help fight that battle. but I'm definitely still got everything focused on Cetra here. I just want to keep the fight going on him, and I want to try and actually gang up on this Necrotect. I'm doing a good job on him. I've got the Hammer of Carrick draws on him for the minus 44 melee attack, so he's got 1 melee attack. He's not going to do anything in that line. Unfortunately, this Tomb Scorpion has gotten to my back line, is beating up on my Uthar's Raiders. I am going to see that. I'm going to send these Dragonback Slayers up to fight this Tomb Scorpion. These guys are just going to get free shots all day. I can't really stop him. He's taken Cetra all the way around just so he can stop taking that damage, but he has taken quite a bit of damage. I've got my Miners engaged, my Longbeards engaged with the Tomb Scorpions, and these Longbeards are great weapons engaged with the Tomb Scorpions. I had planned to bring them around, but I sort of got lost in the fight. Now, basically, I've got my Dragonback Slayers fighting on this Tomb Scorpion, and I've actually focused with all my range to shoot at the Tomb Scorpion as well. I really want to get those shots in, and I want to try and defeat that Tomb Scorpion as quickly as I can while this is going on. I've almost got one Necrotech dead here. I am beating up this Tomb Scorpion pretty quickly. You know, when you focus fire really does make a difference. And I think I've killed one of these Necrotech. Now, Cetra's coming back in here to kind of do some cycle charging. Have got my Rune Lord out. I just want to get him safe, but I do want him to fight a little bit. And I think I kill the Tomb Scorpion right there. So he has routed these guys, and I've got this Tomb Scorpion online. I'm going to try and pull some of these guys off out and go to the back, but I'm really trying to focus on Cetra. He's here now, so I've got all my units shooting at Cetra. I just want to keep on whittling him down. It looks like he's getting healed somehow, which is a little bit weird. I didn't know that he could heal. Maybe he has an ability that allows him to heal, but he's going to come into this back line. I'm going to get my Slayers on him, but he's just going to run through, and these chariots are so hard to stop if you don't have multiple units and you can't slow them down. I could use my Runes of Wrath and Ruin on them, but I'd rather use them on the Tomb Guards. I do want to just get rid of his front line. So he's buckled my Dwarf Warriors, and he's coming through this way, and he's actually got through the Dwarf Warriors and sort of gotten to the cookie jar here, but I do have some units over on this way. And I've forgotten a unit of Longbeards over here. Fortunately for them, Longbeards are wise. You just wait till later on in the battle. So Cetra's beaten up on my backline back here, and I'm finally starting to send units back to here. He does have a unit of Skeleton Spearmen, which will be plenty to slow up the Dawi, but I'm coming over and he brings his Tomb Scorpion over this way. So I am going to try and keep on focusing on Cetra. I just want to whittle Cetra down and keep pushing in the front line. So I have my Rune Lord fighting the Tomb Guard here. I do have what's left of my Dwarf Warriors, and now I'm fighting this Tomb Scorpion. So I'm going to put the Hammer of Carrick draws on him, and I did put the Rune of Wrath and Ruin to slow him down so we could hit him. And we have this fight going here. Now this is going to resolve very quickly. Then I'm going to be able to bring these guys back to the back. You see Cetra is going to come here and plow through my Rangers. He's going to plow through my Bugman's Rangers, and he's going to come right to these Longbeards who have waited for the entire time. So this was not a miss micro. This was a very wise group of Longbeards. See? They're right there. Very wise group of Longbeards. So he's actually used his explosion to get out. I am focusing everyone on him. I'm going to put I believe I'm going to get the Uthar's Marked by Uthar on him again very shortly, but I just want to keep focusing on him. Everything's going reasonably here. I haven't even gotten to the Ushopti with great bows, but I got rid of that Tomb Scorpion, and I just want to keep the focus on Cetra. This Tomb Scorpion's almost done. These Tomb Guards have lasted for a very long time, so I did allow my units to get a little bit clumped up. He's sending his Chosen of the Gods in. Cetra's on his way. He's going back and forth. He's now got Marked by Uthar. I do have everyone focused on Cetra, and you know, they're just going to keep shooting him. And you can see one volley from Uthar's Raiders just absolutely tank his health, and the rest comes in, and that's going to be it for Cetra, and everything else just immediately crumbles. So there we go. Very different fight in that one, and a very different army build. The Tomb Scorpions, which are a unit that, like, I worry about as a Dawi because they could go anywhere. They're anti-infantry, and they're hard to pin down. You saw them jumping through my lines. I think in this battle he spent a ton of time microing Cetra, which you know, if he had had a Kalita or something like that, spent a little less time focusing on Cetra and a little more time focusing on those Tomb Scorpions. Those Tomb Scorpions did some work, and these Tomb Guards with Halberds, they really lasted in there. They did a great job, and I allowed my units to get clumped up. If I just put one unit to each of them and then got the rest of my dwarfs on the other side, it would have been fine. And they got good kills, 76, 63, and 40. Yeah, 2 of them were fighting dwarf warriors, but that's still pretty good. The Cetra got 106. He was running over dwarfs nonstop. The Necrotechs got 3 and 13. And I think we were able to defeat that one Necrotech quite early, which really helped with the heals on the Tomb Scorpions to be lessened. And Tomb Scorpions only got 23 and 45. Not too bad. And the Shopti 40 and 31. So pretty decent. Now for our guys, Runelord got 30. Runesmith 1. That's fine. Miners got 14. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. They were fighting Tomb Guard. These other miners got 0, but really they were chasing Cetra around. Got 15 and 12 for my Dwarf Warriors. My trusty Longbeards, 29, 3, and 21. And my Longbeards with great weapons at the back line, 35, 29, 10. Slayers, Dragonback Slayers, which really did... They ran a lot, but they did some work when they got the chance, 19. And my Rangers, 0, 0, 4, and 4. But they were focused on Cetra. These Othar's Raiders... Man, once you just see when they unloaded on Cetra how much damage he took. It was absolutely crazy. These can be so strong against big units. And I really did like the way they performed in this fight. Now, I mean, I don't know. I feel like this army is an improvement over the last one. I think it's a little bit stronger, a little bit wider, and a little bit more capable. But those Tomb Scorpions, you could see, were able to just have their way, go through my backline wherever they wanted. Maybe I should have left my Longbeards back there a little bit longer to wait for the Tomb Scorpions. I really don't know. But really, those Tomb Scorpions definitely went wherever they wanted to go, and they are a very, very difficult unit to pin down. I actually like this build, and this is something like the build that, has been discussed, and I think this one worked all right too. I don't know about the extra Rangers, if that extra damage was useful or not. But in general, I never felt too worried for most of the fight. It was just trying to track down Cetra. And I think he could have put more pressure on me with those Tomb Scorpions. So as it was, wherever he wanted them to go, they went. So anyways, would love to hear from you in the comments what your thoughts are on the build, what your thoughts are on the matchup, and ways that you think that I could possibly improve this Dowie build. A unit to add with units to replace, that sort of thing. And the same for the Tomb Kings. How could the Tomb Kings improve their build? Maybe a little. These Tomb Guard with halberds were actually pretty good. I was impressed with how they performed. I might do a little bit of testing on them. But yeah, anyways, love to hear from you. And with that said, I will see you soon.